Hello, welcome on into the 5th episode of Rawhide's Mob, presented by Hatch State Line Toyota and Hatch Ford of Silver City. I'm your host, Jake Wetzel, today, and I'll be having a co-host today, Dakota Spillers, the SID of WNMU Athletics. As if you can't tell, I'm a little under the weather today as we record this. Today on the podcast, we'll have offensive coordinator and offensive line coach Billy Hickman and volleyball graduate assistant Grant Degrasse. But first, we'll give a quick recap of the Mustang events that happened over the weekend. Aaron Perez is your Copies on the Run Male Athlete of the Week, while Aubrey Loyoza is your State Farm Female Athlete of the Week. The volleyball team, football team, cross country team, tennis team, and men's golf team were all in action over the past weekend. The football team defeated Western Oregon 35-30. This brings their record to 2-1 on the year. Jamon Chambers was rewarded Offensive Player of the Week. Jeremiah Hartfield was the Defensive Player of the Week. And Kea Oporiza was your Special Teams Player of the Week. The volleyball went 0-3 this past week. The Mustangs would lose to Angelo State 3-1, Texas A&M International 3-2, and Texas A&M Kingsville 3-1. The cross-country team opened their season at the Texas Tech Invitational. The men would place 7th and the women would place 6th. The men's and women's tennis team also had a strong showing in Abilene over the weekend. While the men's golf team is currently golfing, and they sit in first place after round 1 of the NCAA West Regional Fall Final at -13. I'd like to welcome in our first guest here, Grant Degrasse. So Grant, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
We're good. So, what's your assessment over last weekend's games? You guys took International 5 sets after getting swept by them the week before, so what changed with that?
I think that there was a big energy shift going on our team. It's kind of hard with how fast the beginning of the season comes and goes. You expect everything to work perfectly and everyone to gel and love each other, but, it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience for those things to happen. So we're able to get a good look at them in that tournament and then had them at home. I think we're getting better each game, and that's what we got to take from it.
How's Jasmine adjusting coming here, and then now, I know her first couple weeks were a little different, and then now she's just like putting the hammer down. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I can't speak for her, but I've talked to her a few times, and from an outside perspective looking in, I know that it takes a little bit of time to get used to different setters and even different elevation when it comes to volleyball. Same thing with baseball and golf, that kind of things actually become a pretty big factor. But I think a lot of it is the gel, just like the question before, kind of just finding her role on the team and knowing that she's going to be a big part of our offense, and being able to step into that role for her has been really good.
So when it comes to this season, who's made the biggest improvement so far from day 1 of the season to now?
That's a good question. I gotta give it to our defense. Our serve receive has been pretty good since day 1, but our defense, I think our defensive mindset of really being aggressive and going after the ball, keeping rallies going, and keeping the ball in play has really gone a really long way for us in terms of extending matches to 5 sets or whatever it may be. So
Our digs are out of this world right now. It seems like we're receiving really well. I think Janie Cortez has been a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you touch on her game and her style of play?
Yeah, I love Janie. She's a go-getter. She's got that fighter mentality that's really, really beneficial as a defensive player, offensive as well, but, having that heart where nothing can hit the floor or else it really bothers you, and getting upset about it and letting that drive you to get that extra foot to get to that next ball, that goes really far, and having her back there and the fire that she brings is huge. So
Awesome.
All right, so you were a national runner-up in college, correct?
yes.
So what is that like then? Just kind of describe that feeling. That's a good describer.
Yeah, well, I played 2 years NAIA, and we were top teams in the nation both times. The first one was a COVID year, so coming back from that, that's a conversation for another time. But being able to go undefeated all the way until that last game of my career, it stings for sure, but a big lesson that I've taken from that is like, if you give it all, you know, if you put it all out there, you have nothing to regret looking back. You know, losing can teach you a lot, and I think that losing in a big moment like that, and you know, having to heal from it and using it as drive for passion in another sense, like coaching now, it's been pretty big, you know, but it did hurt for sure, and it still hurts. I still actually haven't watched that game, so
Hate to see it.
yeah.
All right. So kind of branching off that a little bit, because you were a student athlete before, how's the transition then from being a student athlete to a coach while still being in college been?
It's been different for sure. I haven't been away from the game long enough to lose any sort of passion for it or anything like that. I'd say the hardest thing for me is being on the sidelines the whole time, you know, like I just want to go play, but you know, my time's over, and being able to kind of put all my energy into whether it be, you know, scouting, gameplay, or building the team up when we need it. That was always something that I was pretty good at. So I don't know, trying to balance my patience and being able to contribute to the game from the sideline instead of, you know, being out there and doing it myself. That's been a transition, but at the end of the day, you know, I just love to be around the sport and help out whichever way I can.
I think you are helping out. The purple and gold game, you played what? It's all 5 sets?
Oh yeah, that was exhausting.
Yeah, you looked miserable. But you played well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, the net's a little shorter, but it was fun for sure. Being out there, that was the first time I played in front of a crowd in a while, and I know I got some kills and tried to hype up the crowd and got booed a little bit, but you know, it was still fun. It was still fun.
So then what do you enjoy the most then about coaching here?
I mean, I think we've been able to establish a pretty good culture, which has always been, you know, my favorite part of the team, whether that be car rides or hotel rooms, hanging out with your buds and doing that part of the sport. So finding a way to make the girls enjoy every part of volleyball, you know, every part that comes with it, that's been really cool so far this year. And I think that, you know, the more time we get with the girls and the more culture we're going to establish and the more fun everybody's going to have. So
It looks like on the court, they're close on the court.
yeah.
If that makes sense. They're all smiley and they look like they want to keep each other up.
Yeah.
They don't like to get down.
Right.
And we can see that it's apparent. So when they're together, it's really cool to see.
Yeah, I guess the objective is to get everyone to play like that all the time, you know, but like I said, with the velocity of the season and how quick it comes, it's, you know, you hope and you do all the work you can, but, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out perfectly, so.
All right. So you have 2 games upcoming this weekend. What are you looking forward to? Like, what are you hoping to look in the team for them to do this weekend?
You know, we're obviously looking for wins. We're looking for good volleyball, consistent volleyball, energy-wise. You know, I want them to play like they love each other and play together. Kind of just to support the acceleration that we're on, you know. I mean, obviously we want to win, but, you know, if we play 2 tough matches and we're still progressing as a team, that's something to look back and smile about. So, hoping for that.
You got anything to add?
Good.
All right, final question then for you for today. If you were talking to somebody that's not from Silver City, what's something that they must do while they're here?
I mean, it'd be pretty hypocritical since I haven't indulged in the outdoor activities as much as everybody kind of talks about, you know, whether it be hiking or mountain biking. I know that there's some really good spots for that. I mean, I'm biased, but come to the golf course, you know? Come to the golf course and take advantage of the elevation and see how far you can hit the ball. I'd say that's pretty cool. That's what I've been doing a lot. So.
For those of you who don't know, Grant can, what's your handicap? 4, 5?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'd say
my bad.
I'm about an 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Not bad.
He can put Matt Enriquez, he can get Matt Enriquez kind of scared. So.
Yeah, but he won't golf with me because he is scared. Right, Matt? That's the wrong one. We're going to hit this one. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, we're good. All right, that's all we have for you today, Grant. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you, Grant.
Right back after this message from a Mustang Pride Park.
No matter what type of vehicle you're looking for, Hatch Toyota State Line, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Silver City has the vehicle that will fit you.
Welcome back to Rawhide's Mom, presented by Hatch State Line Toyota and Hatch Ford of Silver City. We're here with offensive coordinator and offensive line coach Billy Hickman. So, Coach Hickman, how are you doing today?
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me. That's great.
So, you guys are 2-1 this year. What are your thoughts on last weekend's win against Western Oregon?
It was a lot of fun. I think we're going to have a lot of games like that are really close and competitive, and we're going to have to make a bunch of plays down the stretch to win. But those are more fun than blowing people out. So it was really a great team win. It took a lot of plays from the offense, from special teams, a ton of great plays by the defense to get that win. So just see the guys do that. It was a lot of fun.
I bit off, I think, every nail on my body. I swear. Jake and I were doing the stats, and I'm like, Jake, I can't call the play right now. I'm like too focused in the game.
I'm like, that's cool. I have a headache. I can barely see.
I know. I told the guys I'm not in good enough shape and getting too old to have too many more wins like that. But it's certainly better when you're on the winning side of it.
Oh, absolutely.
So
So, Coach, you've doubled your wins from last year. What has changed from last year to this year? What's like, is there a saying you guys are doing? Is it just how you're recruiting? What is it?
yeah, both. I wouldn't say there's one saying in particular, but it takes time to establish the culture that we want as a coaching staff, and we've improved the talent through recruiting. I mean, you can see that a lot of different spots that we're better and we're improving constantly. Somebody like Coach Fack is a huge addition for us, and that'll be seen even more next year as he has a chance to influence our program even more. But no, I think it's just improving talent and having guys buy into the culture and understanding our messages that are consistent across the board and making sure that they're working and know what it takes to win, So it just takes time.
Yeah, I think last year, since we won that first game and then lost the next 10 or something?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for reminding me.
I am sorry. But it's almost like the athletes they get used to losing. And so when you win again, it's a different feeling almost. And to keep that up, I don't know if that's just me as an athlete. I know my sophomore year, we won 4 games out of 44.
That's tough.
So
same win percentage.
Right. And so our next year, we went out and went 2-2 in the weekend, and then went on a 29-game winning streak.
That's awesome.
And so I think we had to relearn how to win again, and what that feeling was. I don't know if that's kind of similar with the returners of last year.
Yeah, obviously we haven't had a lot of success historically at Western New Mexico. So, part of it is knowing how to win. This is really the third job that I've had at a place that has experienced some difficulty, and so turning that around again, like I said, takes time. But at each place, we've had a win like that where the team realizes we can do this, and they find ways to win a game like that instead of last year find ways to lose a game like that. We had 2 games very similar where it's coming down the stretch, 1 possession, we were winning, and we found ways to lose last year. And so to build the guys' confidence going forward, I think a game like that's really important.
Absolutely.
So you brought in an impressive recruiting class this year with the O-line. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah. So a lot of the kids are on the O-line. They're still, they still got their baby fat. They gotta, they're gonna take some time. I think that's maybe the position most you're gonna see. You need some age, you need some maturity. The difference in your body and what you can do at 18 and 20 is humongous. So Some of them we really do got to, get in better shape. Some do have to get bigger, but going forward, it will ultimately improve the talent a lot. And so we got some big kids, and it's really kind of nice to be coaching where I'm looking up at people instead of looking down at everybody. So
Shoot, we have 3 or 4 kids that are 6'7" or 6'6" and above.
I think we have 5 kids that are 6'6" or taller. So,
Giants.
big kids, yeah, it's nice, and that's something that I can't coach. I can't teach it to be long or big, and even if they make mistakes in practice, they have a chance of success because they're so big. So we've seen some of that already, and I'm looking forward to, again, getting those guys with Coach Fakema and coaching them hard during the spring so that they get a lot better as time goes.
So then, what's this team's motto coming up this week? Because you're going against Division I Abilene Christian. So what's the overall motto been this week so far?
I don't know that we have a motto. I mean,
Or I guess the message.
Sure, yeah. It's the same. It's the same as it has been in previous weeks. As we grow as a program and continue to improve, our opponents are faceless to us as much as we can possibly do. It's impossible to cut that out completely, but making sure we improve, making sure that we're focused on us and dominating the things that are within our control and attacking it is how we're going to get better. And what we've done up to this point, I think the kids see the value in that and see where we are growing when we focus on us and everything. So it's obviously exciting to have an opportunity to play a team who's a Division I team, and they're a good Division I football team. There's a new coaching staff for them, and I've been very impressed with what they've done lately, this year I should say. So it's a fun opportunity for our guys to have a chance to play at a place like this and a team of this caliber. But as far as our work goes, we're just putting our head down and going and focusing on us.
It's like what's the saying? There's 2 teams in a ball and go play.
Yeah, I mean, they play on the same size
Yeah.
field as we do. They have the same rules as we do. So I think, once you get hit one time, the kids will go, okay, this is the same as it was last week, and we have to do the same things to be successful. So
Coach, we're gonna kind of fall back a little bit. So you got hired summer of 2021.
Yeah.
You only had a couple weeks to prepare. What was it like to have, say, 3-4 weeks and then the season's here?
It was fun. I liked it. Me and Coach Viho and Coach Camp just kind of put our heads together and put together an offense, and so I'm happy to be in year 2 of that, where we have more comfortability with each other and with our system. But it was hectic, but it was nice because we didn't have the offices we do now. We were all stuck in the swamp, for those of you who know what that is, and so all 10 of us as coaches piled in there each day. It was kind of fun. It accelerates the bonding a little bit. We didn't know each other, so that was nice. We lived in the dorms together at one time or another with a lot of us. So yeah, I mean, it's not preferred time-wise, but it was all right. I didn't mind it.
It seems like you guys got there and then it was boom, practice already. I was like,
Yeah.
how do you get a game plan? How do you get your plays installed so quickly?
Yeah, it definitely has felt better this year. And we said that a lot last year, well, next year we'll have more time, next year we'll have more time. And we just, we do.
Yeah.
So we feel better on that kind of stuff. And it's the auxiliary things, right? You're going to make sure you're ready for practice. The game plan's going to be ready. It's having recruit visit days planned and, really recruiting and fundraising and things like that, and not letting that stuff fall by the wayside when it's just not a priority when we get there in such short time frame.
So you were in Iowa before coming here.
Yeah.
How was it? Because you just had a newborn at the time. Yeah. How old was Bear?
When we left?
Yeah.
So Phil called me about this job on a Friday, and Bear was born the following Wednesday. So it was fast.
Yeah.
He was a month old when he came out here. So
How was it moving cross country, from north to south?
Yeah, it was a 3-day trip. So actually, my other son, Bo, he was 2 at the time, and he and I came out here, did live in the dorms for a few weeks, and then we went back. We flew back and then I drove the moving truck with our dog, and my mother actually flew out and had the kids and Ashley in the van and came out. Took 3 days to do it, so it was it was okay, but yeah, I mean, obviously a 1-month-old baby traveling like that is not great.
It's not ideal at all.
So, maybe that's his problem. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a daredevil, isn't he?
He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
He's got to be. He's not smart enough to keep himself out of danger. So if he's not tough, he's not going to make it. So.
Yeah. Every time I see him, he keeps getting bigger and bigger. He's gonna be a big boy.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from, but.
Oh, neither do I. So, Coach, you mentioned your wife Ashley.
Yeah.
She's our head softball coach here. How is the lifestyle season by season? Because right now it's kind of your season, and in the spring it's her season. So how do you balance that?
I wouldn't say there's much balance. I love it. I do. She doesn't always. I like the difficulty of it. I like the challenge. I get a lot more time with our boys in the spring, and I'm super fortunate to work for people like Coach Noble and Coach Viho who allow us to really have a great family atmosphere here. We don't practice till 8:30 in the morning in the spring, so I can get the boys to daycare. Because the travel, I know our travel is difficult for football. It's brutal for softball. So, it's me and them for quite a bit of the spring. So, she's got to do what she's got to do right now, but she's the primary parent, and then that switches in the spring, and then the summer and around Christmas, we really just kind of hunker down and spend time together. So it's hard, but I like that it's hard.
That's awesome. Does she ever rub it in that she's a head coach and you're not?
No. No, because I make more money than she does. So.
Oh, doing roasted, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, that's a way to debunk that argument real fast.
It's tough, with the wage gap between genders and all, but, football's it's not much, but, if she does come over the top with I'm a head coach, I'm like, well, maybe she should make more money, I don't know.
That's funny.
So, no, she doesn't.
So we're going to go back to football a little bit. How is it working for Coach Viho? He's an awesome guy. I mean, I get to work with him a lot, as you know, and I want to know what it's like as his assistant.
Yeah, no, it feels great. We're all very low ego on staff, and when you have 11 coaches that are used to situations where we're all alpha personalities, it's awesome to all be able to get along so well. But I like working for and with Phil because of his emphasis on family. He's got young children too, and so his family's a huge priority to him, and he understands our needs in that way. So I think I really enjoy that. But personality wise, we get along well, and he and I work together in a closet definitely smaller than this room 13 years ago. So it's come a long way since then. So.
Awesome, Coach. Last question. What is a must-do in Silver City?
I've been thinking about that since you asked Grant. I do like the golf course, I'll say that. I've only played it there a couple times, but it's really nice. I think it's unusual the way that it's lined up, but it's a cool course. I don't know, I think my favorite place to eat is probably Adobe Springs. I'm a breakfast guy, so whether you want sweet or savory, they got great choices either way. So
I love the French toast.
Yeah, for sure.
Kill it.
That's my go-to.
And then for dinner, I get the rattlesnake burger. I don't know if it's called that, but it has a little chipotle sauce on it.
I don't know that I've ever been there for anything but breakfast. I'm sure it's good, but it's just.
I'd say I've never been there, so.
That's good.
I've been really branching out too much.
Yeah.
Just been trying to. I've been sick a lot lately, so I've been trying to get over that.
Just not trying to go to public places and get everybody else sick.
Pretty much.
That's cool.
I respect that.
It's nice of you.
Unless it's Dakota, then I just get him sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's too late.
Yeah. If it's Dakota, it's just, screw that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the motto of the office.
Screw that guy. Yeah, obviously the other thing we do in Silver is go to Western New Mexico football games. So,
Absolutely.
We only got 5 a year. I think you can carve out time for that. And
we had our biggest crowd in week 1. We had over 1,000 people.
Oh, we gotta keep going.
Yep.
Crank that up.
Gotta get up to 117,000.
That might be tough.
We're not Penn State, buddy.
That'd be tough. So.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you for your time. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
We'll be right back after a quick message from our Mustang Pride partner. If you've ever got a hankering for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, why don't you stop on down by Denny's, as we're open 24/7, and not to mention, it's Rawhide's favorite place to eat. Welcome back to Rawhide's Mob, presented by Hatch State Line Toyota and Hatch Ford of Silver City. The Mustangs will be back in action this weekend on the road. The women's tennis team will travel to the ITA Regional in Dallas, Texas. The volleyball team has 2 matches, both on the road, against Arkansas Fort Smith on Friday at 5 p.m. and Oklahoma Christian on Saturday at 11 a.m. Football team travels to Division I Abilene Christian on Saturday at 6 p.m. And finally, the women's golf team will travel to Goodyear, Arizona for the RJGA Shootout. This has been the 5th edition of Rawhide's Mob, presented by Hatch State Line Toyota and Hatch Ford of Silver City. We'll come back with some more intriguing guests next week. For Grant, Degrasse, Billy Hickman, and Dakota Spillers, I'm Jake Wetzel. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. #RareBreed.